Hey guys, it's Melanie. Happy Sunday. Welcome back, or welcome if you are new here. I hope your day is off to a great start. Today's video is another collab with my bestie, Lisa Roberry. If you are not new here, you already know who Lisa is. She is my Scentsy consultant, and beyond that, she is one of my best friends in the whole wide world. And we actually connected through YouTube. So had it not been for this platform here, I would have never met Lisa. We connected when she was still living down in California. She has since moved to Idaho, and I live in Oregon. So we were kind of state neighbors before, but she's actually closer to me now than she was before. So I feel really blessed and lucky to have Lisa in my life. She is such a wonderful, kind, and caring person, and really, truly, our friendship means the world to me. So I will be eternally grateful to YouTube for bringing us together. But most of you who have been here know who Lisa is already. So she will be sharing the same version of what I'm sharing here over on her channel. So definitely go check that out. I will link her video in the description box down below. So how we came up with the idea for this video, it was actually Lisa that came up with it. Back when we were talking about our like holiday collab, like our typical seasonal collabs that we do for recommendations, one of the things that she mentioned was like, hey, I have an idea that I think a lot of people might be interested in watching after the holidays. She tends to get a lot of questions from a lot of her customers. By the way, I don't sell Scentsy. I have no interest in doing that. I like supporting my friend, and I really truly do love the product. But one of the questions that Lisa tends to get a lot from her customers is like, what should I melt in January? Like, a lot of people tend to be seasonal when it comes to their home fragrance. I know that I am. I'm very seasonal. Once the holidays are over, all of the holiday stuff gets put away until the next holiday season. I find myself really struggling to continue to burn holiday scents after the holidays because I get the post-holiday blues. I am a huge Christmas fanatic. And once Christmas is over, I just automatically go into like womp womp mode, because a lot of times I don't know what to get into in terms of home fragrance. I don't really like fresh scents, but I don't feel quite ready to go into like full on like fruity or florals or summer type scents at all. And I'm certainly not going to go back to, you know, like the pumpkins or, you know, the spicy scents from the fall either. So it's a little bit of a strange home fragrance period for me. And I think it is sometimes for Lisa as well. And it's probably for a lot of you guys as well. So today we are going to share some suggestions that might be a great option for this time of year. We did not limit ourselves to what is currently available. We said just whatever makes us happy this time of year. So that may be in the current catalog. I don't know that any of mine are currently available, but certainly ask your consultant. I mean, maybe your consultant has some of these like in their own personal stash, and maybe you can purchase directly from them. I know that a lot of consultants sometimes will do like personal specials and things like that. Or you might actually have these already in your stash and you were wondering like, when am I gonna use this? Now might be the time. Or you might even have these items in your club. So yeah, I'm really excited to share my favorites. And once I pulled them all out, I was like, oh, there's a definite theme here. You're gonna see the theme right away. We are also sharing a warmer, one of our favorite warmers as well for this time of year. Now, after Christmas, all of my holiday warmers get put away, and that includes anything with a snowflake on it, because I equate snowflakes with Christmas. Just my own personal thing. I know a lot of people leave a lot of their holiday warmers out during, you know, January and February because they might well be appropriate. So, but for me, I tend to pull out my year-round warmers after I am done with the holidays. So, but I did pick one that I just absolutely love, and it's really, really beautiful. And I love the glow that it gives, especially our formal living room this time of year. I live in Oregon, where it's typically pretty gray. And so the warm glow that I get from this particular warmer just makes me kind of feel cozy and just feels very homey. So anyway, I will share that last. But once again, I will link Lisa's version of this video in the description box down below. Definitely go check it out after you're done with this one. And if you're new here from Lisa's channel and you feel a connection at all, I would love it if you would take the time to subscribe. I do a fair amount of home fragrance on my channel, but I am someone who burns candles, so you may not be interested in that, but I do talk a fair amount about Scentsy and, you know, whatever I purchase from Lisa as well. So all right, you guys, I have my little sheet of paper here with all of the fragrance notes from my picks. And then I'll also just be talking about I like to talk about the vibes of the fragrances as well. But I think they all kind of share the exact same vibe. So I'm gonna get started with, actually let me grab what I have at the top here on my list. Okay, my first pick is a Bring Back My Bar, and I purchased several of these, and so I have a few of them. And I really didn't like warming this particular scent in the fall, and it's not a holiday scent to me, and so I was thinking, like, when is a good time to use Quiver? Now is a good time to use Quiver. If you have it in your collection or if you have it in your club, get out Quiver. What a great scent for this time of year. So the fragrance notes on this one are vanilla flower, sandalwood, and tuberose. Now I will say tuberose is quite potent. I used to be a florist. I'm not currently a florist. I'm taking a serious break from my business. But tuberose is one of those really intense floral notes, and while you can smell some tuberose in here, it is not, it's not the most predominant note, surprisingly. I do really think that a lot of times tuberose can kind of take over, but I really like the balance that's in here. So that vanilla flower is really, really beautiful. This is not a gourmand vanilla at all, but it is a sweeter floral vanilla for sure. The sandalwood adds just a touch of, like, I don't want to say earthiness. I'm not quite sure what the word, woodiness. A touch of woodiness, which I think is still appropriate during, you know, January and February as well. I like woodier scents in the fall, but I also love sandalwood this time of year, and it's sandalwood specifically. This is a really nice balance of all three of those fragrance notes. It is kind of perfumey in its vibe, and honestly, I think any of these scents that I'm sharing, they share kind of a perfumey type of vibe to them. So if you don't like perfumey scents, I don't think you're gonna like any of my suggestions. But if any of these items came in body care products, or better yet in perfume format, oh man, I would wear every single one this time of year. And in terms of personal fragrance, I would also wear these probably all year long. Just so beautiful, sophisticated. This is a great bedroom scent. I love this one in the upstairs of the house, but I also like this one in our like formal living room, in my office, and then also in our family room as well. So if you happen to have some Quiver, you should definitely be busting this one out. All right, next on the list, I have the Positively Pink. So I purchased this back in, what haul did I get this in? I feel like it was like late fall, kind of early holiday time that this came out, but it was a part of like their like breast cancer collection. So it was probably around October, which is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. This one is so pretty, you guys. So this has a mix of raspberry, vanilla, and wait for it, sandalwood. Sandalwood is a very common theme in a lot of these fragrances that I'm sharing. So hopefully you like sandalwood. The raspberry in here is, it is more of a perfumey raspberry. It's not that straight up like summertime raspberry. It's not overly sweet. You can tell that it's raspberry, but again, it's like it's an interesting perfumey take on raspberry. Maybe it's the sandalwood that makes it lean perfumey, but oh man, delicious. And the vanilla, again, it's not an edible vanilla. I'm really getting away from the gourmand vanillas with these picks here, which is what my usual loves are. The vanilla in here, again, is more of like, almost like a vanilla orchid or like a vanilla floral type note. Just beautiful, sophisticated, like definitely a fancy lady scent. So Positively Pink, for sure, one that I think is a great option this time of year. All right. Oh, now we're taking it back to Halloween here. This is the Disney Hocus Pocus Sanderson Sisters Perfectly Wicked. Now this actually, you can get this in a perfume format, and it's Tom Ford Lost Cherry. Personally, I own dupes of Tom Ford Lost Cherry. I love that fragrance, but Tom Ford isn't cruelty free. And when it comes to frivolous, like unnecessary beauty products, I choose to purchase cruelty free. So I go for the dupes. But oh man, do I love Lost Cherry. This is just a stunner of a fragrance. Now this one is definitely, this one gives me like romantical bedroom vibes as well. But what you have here is blackberry, black plum, cherry, and spiced vanilla. There is a spiciness to this. The cherry that's in here is definitely a warm, almost patchouli cherry type vibe. Not dirty hippie patchouli, definitely perfumey patchouli. I do smell a good amount of plum in here as well. And then that blackberry too, but it's so interesting. Despite having those multiple fruit scents in here, it doesn't scream like summertime fruits. It really doesn't. That spiciness that's in here, that like vanilla that runs throughout it, again, it's that floral type of vanilla. Just makes this smell so sophisticated and beautiful. The cherry really is the standout note here. So if you are not a lover of cherry fragrances, this would not be a great option for you. But if you love Tom Ford Lost Cherry and you want something that smells very, very similar to it in home fragrance, if you can at all get your hands on this, you should. It is absolutely delightful, so beautiful, so sophisticated. Again, it just screams fancy, expensive lady to me. Okay, Vanilla Barnwood. Okay, when I first got this, I thought it was quite light, and it is a lighter fragrance. This is not the type of scent that when you walk into a room, it's gonna like smack you in the face. This is very subtle, but I do think subtle fragrances have a place in probably most, well, it should have a place in most homes. I mean, sometimes when you have guests coming over and maybe they have some sensitivities or you're just unsure, a fragrance like this would be a really great option because it's not a powerhouse. It's very subtle. It's kind of like lingering in the background, but it's beautiful. This one is really lovely, and this has a sweeter vanilla. So if you don't like the more, but it's sweeter, but it's still perfumey. But if you don't like the heavier perfumey vanillas, this one here is much, much lighter. The notes are Barnwood. What is Barnwood? Honestly, it smells like sandalwood. To me, this smells like a good solid sandalwood base. Again, creamy vanilla, yes, and amber. It's the amber in here that gives it that touch of sophistication, but it's not super heavy amber. I feel like a lot of times amber can smell quite strong, quite potent, but I feel like the sandalwood and then that creamy vanilla note really tones that amber down a little bit. It's just a really lovely blend. Again, sophisticated, pretty, soft. This one's very, very feminine for sure. I like this one a lot. I like to use this one in our bathrooms. It does a little bit better in terms of being much more noticeable in smaller rooms. I live in a very open concept, like early 2000s, like type of house. So we have really high ceilings in the downstairs. Sometimes certain fragrances can get lost in here. That's one where I like to warm it in the upstairs. Our ceilings are much lower upstairs. And then also in, you know, like a bedroom or in like a bathroom, that's where that one really excels. But it's a great option for this time of year. And if you happen to have some, bust it out. Now's a good time for it. All right. Sandalwood Tangerine. Oh, you guys, I love me some Sandalwood Tangerine. Now this kind of is along the lines almost of the, kind of like, I would say the Perfectly Wicked sort of, in that it's quite perfumey. This one's a little bit more masculine smelling to my nose. I don't love a lot of masculine scents. If they're done really well, then I will accept them. But, you know, a lot of these like mahogany type fragrances, like the heavy leathery scents, those a little bit of a turn off to me. But this one is a masculine scent that I think is just really, really lovely. So this has white cedar, tangerine, and sandalwood. Surprise, sandalwood. The tangerine citrus note in here is so lovely. It's perfumey tangerine. This is not like a fresh, like citrusy tangerine at all. It's definitely perfumey. And the sandalwood just kind of like mingles so nicely with it. You know what is interesting about this? Like, I don't really get much in the way of that cedar note. I actually smell more amber than anything else. This smells like an absolutely fantastic men's cologne. That's what this smells like to me. So again, this to me is a little bit more of like a bedroom type scent. But I will also warm this one like in our family room. But definitely this is one that I would never put into like the kitchen or anything like that. But a lovely option. And if you happen to have it in your club, or you still happen to have some on hand, bust it out. She's a good one. Ooh, pink leather. Ooh, okay, pink leather. This one I got last fall, and I just was thinking like, I don't really want this right now. I didn't know when I would crave this, but it's now. It's post holidays. This is when I'm craving this scent. Wild strawberry, toasted vanilla, and leather. So that leather note is very interesting because it is more of like a white leather, or pink leather, I guess you could say, but it's not that heavy. Again, mahogany leather. It's not oppressive. It's not super like cologne-y smelling in a way. It's more like feminine perfume type vibes when it comes to that leather note for sure. The strawberry is really interesting in here. It doesn't smell like your usual strawberry. It's not overly sweet. You almost get a little bit of green with this particular strawberry. And the toasted like vanilla scent is kind of an interesting, that's an interesting note in here because I wouldn't really call it toasted vanilla. It smells a little bit more of like a, not overly sweet, but like a touch of sweet, again, creamy vanilla. It doesn't smell gourmand, but just, you know, like creamy, like Madagascar type of vanilla. Oh, it's really good. I like this one a lot. So if you have some pink leather, bust it out. Okay, my last pick. This is another one that's in my club. It's Vanilla Suede. This is another very masculine scent to my nose. So here we have vanilla amber, sandalwood, and spice. All right, this one is absolutely, definitely a bedroom scent for me. I don't think I've ever warmed this in other areas of the house. No, that's a lie. I've warmed it in our guest bathroom. It's, oh, I want my husband to smell like this. I think this would make such a great men's cologne. Oh man, if Scentsy is looking to get into the perfume game, man, I have your initial lineup right here, Scentsy. You don't need to give me credit, but I would love the option to purchase some of these as personal fragrance. So hop to it, Scentsy. Yeah, this is really nice, you guys. Definitely masculine vibe from this one. But the vanilla here is so pretty. Again, it's more of like that perfumey, like vanilla orchid type vibe. There's also a touch of like a leatheriness to this one for me, but it's the amber, the sandalwood, and the vanilla that's really the star here. Now this does have like a slight spiciness to it, but it's not, I wouldn't say it's overly spicy. It's really nicely balanced. I really like this. So this bad boy is in my club. So anyway, those would be my suggestions for you. So yeah, we definitely have a theme here, and it's sandalwood, it's amber, and it's vanilla. I think, yeah, basically my vibe for January and February are sandalwood, amber, and vanilla. So anything that you have with either of those three fragrance notes, or better yet, if they're like all together, I think that's the most ideal fragrance for this time of year myself. So for the warmer, Lisa was like, I think I know what you're gonna pick. So I'll be very curious to see if she's right. But it's the champagne warmer. You know why I like it? Because it has an amber glow. So once again, we're going back to the amber. I love this one, you guys. Isn't this one of the prettiest ones that they ever did? So this is the one that had the Edison bulb in it. I don't love that the bulb is more expensive, but oh man, she's a great performer for being a glass warmer. I do think that the ceramic warmers from Scentsy tend to do just a little bit better in terms of performance, but I do love the look of their glass warmers probably the most. And this one here, I have two. I had three, but then my lovely puppy Penny decided to take one out. Luckily, there was no wax going at the time that she broke this bad boy. But yeah, I just remember being so bummed. And luckily, she was a puppy, and she's very cute, and I love my pugs. I'm a total pug person. So, you know, Penny's still with us, but I was so bummed, because by the time that she broke it, like it was already like out of stock. But if Scentsy ever brings this back, I would totally purchase another one. I loved having three of these. I just think they provide the most beautiful glow. It's a very simple but elegant design, and for the fancy lady vibes, like this gives me ultimate fancy lady vibes. So anyway, love it. I just think it's so, so pretty. So I'll be curious to see if Lisa is like, haha, I knew it. I have a feeling that she totally knows that I'm gonna pick that one. So anyway, you guys, thank you so much for being here for this video. And a big thanks to Lisa for bringing this up as an idea. I really think this is a very interesting topic. And I would just love to know what you guys gravitate towards after the holidays. So let me know in the comments down below. Let me know if you think there's anything that I should try. And don't get me wrong, I also warm other fragrances this time of year. We all know that Bring Back My Bar is happening right now, and I will have a Bring Back My Bar haul for you guys very soon. So, you know, I definitely warm a lot of that Bring Back My Bar stuff as well. But in terms of just what I think are great options for this time of year in terms of staples, things you may want to consider voting for in the future if they're ever offered up for Bring Back My Bar voting, those would definitely be things that I would be like, yes, do it. Vote for these. They would be great to have. And then put them in your club so that you can have them forever and ever. So anyway, thank you so much for being here. Again, if you're new, I would love it if you would take the time to subscribe, and be sure to check out Lisa's video. It will be linked in the description box down below. I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your weekend. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.